Hello everyone, it's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Alberta, Canada, and I'm very happy to have you all join in with me today for our last Mystery Monday video of September, the 30th of September today. I can't believe how quickly this last part of our year is flying by, but it is a gorgeous time of year. So today we are going to take a look at this Peaceful Evergreens bundle. And if you are looking for it, you can find it as part of the Season of Elegance collection. It's a suite, it's a really large suite. Starts on page 24 and 25 of our new mini. So this is the Peaceful Evergreen bundle, and this is another one called Peaceful Season. That is part of this suite, and there are some really great examples here, some really cool designer paper, embossing folders, some embellishments, ribbons, so you can kind of pick and choose what you would like, or you could just indulge yourself and get the whole suite. So we're going to take a look at some different pieces of this today using this Peaceful Evergreens bundle. Now, I took part in an online event, Saturday, by some really talented demonstrators all across Canada, and they were posting different videos and projects, and they were coming on live, each of them, over the course of the day. And the purpose was to share with us some of their ideas from the new mini and some of the products that are in there, so we could share those with our teams and our customers and fellow stampers, people that just love to stamp and use our products. So I'm going to focus on a project that Lori LaRose, actually from Rocky Mountain House, Alberta. So she's an Alberta girl. So make sure to check her out. She's got some great projects, and she's a very peppy gal, so I think you'll love her. She did a fun fold card. Not using this set, but I just love the fun fold, so I kind of switched it up, and I'm going to incorporate this bundle into our project. So these are the dies. Now there are quite a few here, so a lot of trees, overlays. Some of these have popped off here, my magnet, and then just some other pieces to it. So really, really beautiful set for Christmas. And again, I just love and sort of am drawn to things with trees in them. So really cool. So the fun fold we're going to do is this one. So when you open it up, you're going to open it up like this. Okay, let me do that again. So it's closed, and we're going to open it up like this. Okay. So I have done fun folds where we open it up kind of the reverse direction, where pretend this is the, going the right direction, where we've kind of opened it and then opened our fun fold this way. But this one was kind of reversed. So I thought that was kind of cool, just to show how you could do the same fun fold, but just in a different direction. So that was kind of fun. Okay, so we are using kind of a bunch of different products on this in addition to that Peaceful Evergreens bundle. So I'll show you how we're going to put this together and some of the products we're going to use. So we are going to start with a piece of Pretty Peacock. That's going to be our base, our 8.5 by 5.5, and I will post all these measurements on my Facebook page, and I'll also post the video on YouTube as well. Okay, so this is our base. So the designer paper I chose, I could have chosen the one from the suite, but I don't have it. So we are going to use some paper from the Regal Distressed Patterns specialty designer paper. And it's a package of 6 12 by 12 sheets, and they all have some sort of a foil design in them. Okay, so you would get 2 of this red sheet, and they are just one-sided. Okay, so this is a little bit variegated in the coloring. And then you get this white with the gold, and then of course the one that we're going to use, which is this greenery piece, which I just love. I think this is so beautiful. And this is where the Pretty Peacock comes in. So we're going to use that designer paper, And I've cut a piece at 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm going to put this on first, and then we have to cut a hole for our little peekaboo here, right? For our trees to pop through. So I'm going to just put this on first, and then cut this a circle out of here with a circular die. Now, there are different circular dies that we carry, but I'm going to stick to the one that Lori used, and that is the Spotlight on Nature dies, which are here. So it's part of the Spotlight on Nature stamp set, and these fantastic circular dies. So they come in different sizes and different patterns. So I've pulled out, and what Lori used was these two here. Okay, so I'm going to cut my hole out of using this die here, right out of the center. Okay, so I'll be right back with that. And I apologize if I'm shaking the table. Let's see if I can get this sort of centered here. Okay. Alright, so this is where I put my die. You can position it wherever you would like, a little higher, a little more centered. Now, this is what comes out of the center. So you have these, because I didn't put adhesive on the center part of this cardstock, or at least I don't think I did. This should pop off in 2 pieces. Oh, maybe I used a teeny bit. Okay, so you can use this for another project, and then this is going to become part of our project. Okay, so let me just set that aside. Okay, so now we have our center. All right, so I'm going to put that aside for a second. So now we have to put in our fun fold. So for that, we have a piece of basic white, and this is cut at 8 by 5 1/4, and I've scored it at 2 inches and 4 inches. Okay, so we're going to fold it in half on that 4-inch score line and give it a burnish here. All right, and then on this 2-inch score line, you're just going to fold this flap backwards. Okay, and give that a bit of a burnish so it's nice and crisp and flat. Okay, so that's what's going to go on the inside, and that's what's going to make our fun fold. Okay, so before I put it down, I'm going to put some more of that designer paper on these 2 panels. So I've cut 2 pieces of the same designer paper. If you wanted, you could switch this up in a different pattern or whatever you would like. And these are cut at 1 3/4 by 5, both of them. Okay, so let's just put these on. Now, I'll make sure these are going up and down. You could cut this a little bit larger, like at 1 7/8 or something, just if you wanted a smaller border. But because I did my front with that larger little border there, I decided just to do it on these pieces too. So it's all personal preference. Okay. All right, so I just put this one here. I'm just going to straighten my camera. I went a little bit crooked here. I hope that's better. Sorry about that. I'm kind of looking sideways. Okay, so now we can put this on the inside of our card. So there's different adhesives you could do. You could just use your liquid glue. I'm going to use the seal. You could use our tear and tape if you were afraid that it might, that you wanted something really sturdy to hold it down, but I'm just going to use our Stampin' Seal. So I'm going to fold these together, and then I'm just going to center it here, leaving a little bit of that border, and just stick that down. Give it a good press and stick that down. So now this is here. Is this straight? Yeah, I guess it is. No, it's a little bit crooked. What? Did I cut it crooked? Or are my eyes playing tricks on me here? Let me see if I can just lift this up and reposition this a teeny bit. Just was bothering me. Maybe that's a little better. Yeah, I think that's a teeny bit better. Let me just anchor this edge down. I'm sorry, I guess a little bit of OCD in me too. Now I know maybe where my daughter gets it from. I always thought it was her dad. I think it might still be, but anyway. Okay, so this is where we're at. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to put, let me see, which step should I do first? I think I am going to stamp a greeting on the inside here. Now, the beauty is that the circle is going to cover it, right? Like on our sample here. And even here, it's covered. You won't really see it until you open it, okay? So, for the greetings, now in our Peaceful Evergreens, you'll notice there are no greetings in this set. Just some beautiful images, which is fine. But there are some other sets here. Peaceful Season is the other part of the suite, so there are lots of greetings here. And what's kind of fun about this is you can kind of mix and match the stamps to make a greeting. So for example, there's like Merry Christmas, or wishing you and yours peace and joy, wishing you and yours all the best. Like you can puzzle and, cut and paste some of these together, which is kind of fun. And they do also have some dies, okay, to cut these out. Another greeting, which is neat, is this Christmas labels one. And this has some fun, a little more lighthearted, but it's got like a Merry Christmas to you, which is fun. Peace on Earth is nice, kind of a mixture. And it also has some dies that you can use to cut these out. So when I did my sample, I kind of used a little bit of both. I took from the Peaceful Season, wishing you and yours, a season, is that in here? Yes, a season. So wishing you and yours a season of wonder and happiness. So I took both of those from there, but I used the die from the Christmas labels. So I used this die here, and it kind of sort of cuts apart, which is interesting. Sort of gives you a little different dimension. And I embossed them. Excuse me. So we are going to do some embossing on this piece here too. Maybe we should do that first. Or let's do our greeting first inside, and then we're going to do these trees. Okay? Okay, so what I chose for the inside is from the Peaceful Season, wishing you all the things wishing you all the things that warm your heart and lift your spirits. Okay, so we're going to emboss that in gold because we have some gold going on in this designer paper, this specialty paper. And so I'm going to close my card. I'm going to bring out my embossing goodies. So first I'm going to use my embossing buddy just to get some of that static down. And then I have my gold embossing powder and my Versamark pad. Okay, so I'm going to close this to make sure that my stamping is going to be contained in this circle. Okay, so let's ink up this pad, make sure that I've got it going the right way, not upside down. And then excuse my head, I'm just going to try to center this. Hopefully it's not going to be crooked, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so now I'm going to put on that gold embossing powder. Okay, so for anyone that has never seen embossing, it's truly magical. And one thing that I typically do most around Christmas. Okay, I'm just going to flick off any of that extra powder, close my Versamark, bring out my heat tool, and makes a noise. So hang on. There you go. Wishing you all the things that warm your heart and lift your spirits. So just let that cool for a second, because sometimes it's really hot the minute that it melts, the powder melts there, and you can smear it and actually kind of almost burn yourself. So that's a little bit crooked, but not too bad. Okay, so then what I need is, while this is cooling, I'm going to grab a piece of basic white cardstock. Give me 1 second. Turn on a bit of a light here. We're having a bit of rain, I think, this afternoon, so the lighting is a little bit dark in here today, and I didn't want the glare from up above. So, okay, so I have a piece here. Now, what I'm going to do is I need a circle that's going to fit inside this circle here. Okay, so I'm going to take my 2 3/8 punch, and I'm going to punch out a circle. And this will fit exactly inside this die piece, okay, leaving a little bit of that ridge on the outside. But I want to emboss on here. I want to emboss those trees, okay? So let me just get an extra piece of paper here. This is white on white. I don't know if that's the best. What do I have? Let me grab a pretty peacock, and you can see what I'm doing. Okay, right here. Okay, so I took these 2 images from the stamp set. So one is the larger tree, one is the smaller one, and I want to try to fit all 3 on this circle. Good luck, right? Okay, let's see. So we're going to emboss on our embossing buddy just to get that static off, and open our Versamark. And on our sample, I did the large one in the center. So let's try doing that again. Now, I don't need to ink up the whole stamp. That's why it's just on a smaller block. I just want to ink up this top portion with Versamark. And if you do get more, it's not a big deal because, yeah, the circle's only so big. So I'm going to stamp that in the center. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp a smaller one. Now, let me see where that image was. I can't really see it that well, but put this one on the right. Okay, and then I'm going to ink it up again and re-stamp it on the left. Okay, I'm going to sprinkle that gold embossing powder on here again. And we'll see where these trees, how they showed up on here. Okay, let's flick off some of that extra powder. Okay, that's not too bad. And then we'll take our heat tool again. I'm just going to grab a pair of scissors so I don't burn my fingers, just to hold this down. it to the side, you can kind of see where the shininess appears. If you have any dull spots, that means it hasn't been embossed quite long enough. So I'm just going to go over this bottom. I think it's fine, but I just want to make sure that I haven't missed anything. Okay. All right, so those are our trees, and I'm okay with some of them being a little bit off. A forest is never perfect, right? Okay, so then we are going to, once this has cooled, I'm going to give that a second. And if you noticed on my sample, I did add this gold dye. So that is, again, from those Spotlight on Nature dies. And it is this larger one with a little pattern in it here. Okay, so in order to get this dye, this sort of nested dye, I took the dye that I cut the circle out of, and I laid that inside this larger dye. Let me just show you on a piece of paper here. Okay, so you're gonna put this on the gold, your gold foil, all right? And you're gonna sort of set it so it's centered in there. I like to take a sticky note or something just to, you know, tape it down so it doesn't shift going through the machine. And then when it comes out, excuse me, it'll come out like this. Okay, so this, it'll cut out separately. So you'll have this to use for another project, and this is the one we are going to put on our project. Now, because it is so detailed here, you can try to adhere it just with liquid glue if you wanted, which for me, I would make a mess. So I actually decided to put this whole piece on an adhesive sheet, okay? It's fine for me that this is not, that this is also on an adhesive sheet. I can figure out something to do with that later. But this one, because it's so detailed, I thought it would be much easier to put on our card, and it will fit right around that circle perfect. Okay, so you're just going to peel away that adhesive sheet. You can use your take your pick tool as well if that will help. Okay, and then you're just going to lay this around part of the circle and make sure it's lined up. It kind of falls into place, and then just give it a little rub all around just to adhere it on top of that designer paper. And there, see, our greeting is sort of centered right in there, although it's a teeny bit crooked, but that's okay. So when this is closed, you know, our circle is still going to go on top here, so that'll cover it. Okay, but then if they displayed it, you'd also see that the greeting is in that circle. Okay, so last part, I believe, will be adding our trees. So we're going to first mount it on top of this pretty peacock. And it will fit between those embossed lines that were cut out with the die. Okay. All right, now the trick when putting this on is we don't want to put adhesive on the entire circle because it will get stuck and then you can't open your card. So we want it to fit right in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put adhesive on this DSP that's on the inside. Okay, I'm not even going to put it on the circle. You can if you want, but this way I know that I'm not going to accidentally get adhesive further than I want it to go. So we're just going to fit this as straight as we can inside our circle. Press that right side down and voila, it covers our greeting, and there you go. So when you close it, it looks like that, and then you can open it. Isn't that fun? I just love this fun fold. I think it is. It's kind of like a bit of a surprise, right? Like here, wishing you and yours what? Oh, a season of wonder and happiness. It's a bit of a surprise when you open it up. I'm not going to put a greeting on this one. I think I'm just going to leave it because on the outside, because it says it all here on the inside. Okay, so if you wanted, you could put something here, but I think for this one, because of that greeting on the inside, I'm just going to leave it. Okay, so that is our project for our last Mystery Monday of September 2024. So I hope you had fun with that fun fold, haha, and that you'll give it a try. And this doesn't have to be Christmas themed. It can be birthday. It can be anything you want using this particular fun fold and different designer papers. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that project, and we will see you in October. Have a great week, everyone. Bye for now.